Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Arizona, and today I am filming out of our Chandler, Arizona location. I am back with another reformer workout for you. It's a full body flow for beginners, for intermediate. We'll just kind of decide how we want to take those springs, but I am going to use a prop as the jump board here, so grab that, have it handy so that when we come to that part of the workout, we don't need to stop the video at all. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I have over 90 workouts here, so they are all organized in the playlist section, so feel free to scroll back to some old ones and just kind of take a look to see what you're feeling for that day. Also, if you are new to Pilates, want to enhance your Pilates practice, or you've been doing Pilates for a while and are thinking that you want to have a career and become a Pilates instructor, we do offer a Mat and Reformer virtual teacher training program. There's a link below, so if you want more information on our upcoming courses, you can go ahead and fill out that information. If you are already a Pilates instructor and you want to have your own business in your city, Function Pilates is a groundbreaking franchise, and we are registered in over 30 states. I would love to chat more about how this could be a great opportunity for you to have your own business. And if you guys are looking for some other recommended workouts similar to this one, I will have those links below as well. But for those that are ready to get started, let's go ahead and begin. Let's go ahead and begin by setting our springs up for footwork. So I have on 2 reds, a green, and a yellow spring, which is about a medium to heavy weight. So find something you're comfortable with. Go ahead and lie down on your reformer. Let's take those hands to the pegs, wide stance with the feet as you windshield wipe those legs, stretching out through those hips, stretching out through the low back, and just taking a mindful moment to focus on our breath for a moment. Beautiful. Let's cross one leg over, just get a nice side stretch here as we twist to one side. Maybe you're looking to the other side. Take a moment, take it to the opposite as you switch your legs, returning back through the center, and give yourself a nice big hug, imprinting that spine as we elongate through the lower portion of our back. And then once you feel ready, stretched out, let's adjust our heels about parallel, hip distance apart on that foot bar. Give it a good stretch. Standing up nice and tall, double check your form if you need to, and then just go ahead and getting into this nice rhythm, about 10 repetitions. And just notice if you're in that neutral pelvis where you're not overly arching and you're not overly imprinting your low back, you're just finding this nice comfortable space between the back and your mat here. Beautiful. Keeping those shoulders relaxed and coming down to the toes, stay in that same nice parallel position and elevating those heels to a nice high heeled position where we are making a longer distance here. So it's a little bit more challenging as we maintain equal weight distribution on our toes. But just think of those hips looking up towards the ceiling. You're opening up through the hip flexors, getting nice and long through your legs. Good. And coming in, heels together, toes apart. Exhale, squeeze those inner thighs, just activating through those adductors. There's almost this sense of lifting up from your pelvic floor. As you contract those muscles, you're scooping your belly button down and in, and trying to be mindful not to tense up through your neck or your shoulders, but just really finding this beautiful rhythm of the breath. Hugging those heels together. Good. Let's bring those heels up to a nice wide position and just slightly externally rotate out from those hips. Exhale to press out. So our goal with footwork is to really start to strengthen through our ankles, strengthen through our knees and our hips. We're promoting a lot of pelvic stability. It's just a nice way to warm up our body with these larger muscle groups, getting in tune with our abdominal muscles and using that core to our advantage as we continue to flow to the next exercise. Same wide position, move it down to your toes, heels are lifted, exhale, press out. Beautiful. Continue to breathe. Relaxing through your neck and shoulders, and just think of those arms growing long as this energy is just pulling out from your fingertips. Think of someone pressing your shoulders down to really open and expand through your chest here. Awesome. Good, nice and light through the jaw. And let's bring those feet back together, parallel, and just go ahead and drop both of your heels under for a nice, beautiful stretch. And really working to lift those heels up. So just create that work here. Good. Getting that stretch through the calves, working through your ankles. Careful not to hyperextend through the knee. You got it. And anywhere from about 10 to 20 calf raises is a nice, good, solid starting point. Just work through those intrinsic muscles of the feet as you exercise through the toes here. Make it about that lift. Beautiful. And then go ahead into some running here where you're just alternating the legs. One knee points up, the other heel drops under, so there's no stopping in between. So this will help to also get a little bit more of a deeper stretch if those calves are feeling it from that burn. Good, and just paying attention that your hips are not wobbling, not moving, but they're staying very anchored, very quiet. Good, soften the knees to return back home. Perfect. So carefully go ahead and sit yourself up, and we're gonna get started here with a little bit of abdominal series. So you can keep those springs on, we don't have to mess around with them, but grab a hold of your box. We'll set it up short box, which is basically horizontal here. You can go ahead and take your foot bar down so it's out of your way, and then go ahead and find your safety strap, make sure that's available to you. Taking a seat carefully on top of the box, we're gonna go ahead and place our feet underneath. And I like to keep our feet right now anchored to the ledge, just to kind of find some sort of foundation. So once you're here, flex those feet for security. Go ahead and cross over those arms in a genie position. Nod your chin, tuck that tailbone, scoop through the belly as we roll ourselves back. Exhale, return up through center. So our goal is that we're articulating through the spine. You're feeling that stretch, the vulnerability of the spine, but you're feeling the work facilitate through those abdominal muscles. Without that initial scooping, that C curve, we're not able to get a little bit more transparent through the core. So keeping those shoulders down, relaxing through the neck, again, just finding this beautiful articulation where you're stabilizing through the lower portion, the lower limbs of your body here. From here, let's open those arms to a T. We're gonna rotate to the left. You're gonna C curve it back down, scoop, and lift up to the same side. Good, we're gonna stay on this left side here. So as those arms open out, you're gonna wrap, scoop it up. Yes. Good, open to a T, scoop. Lean it back as far as you can without trying to use your legs for help. That is the most important part, that you are actually using your abdominals to lift you up. Open to a T, scoop those belly. Sweep those arms around, return through center. Come back through the center, open to a T, rotate to the right. We're gonna lower it back down, bring those arms around, exhale. So listen to the breath. You're inhaling through the nose, but feel that exhale, just like it's a loud rhythm here. It's almost like you're fogging up this mirror as you're taking out that exhale to lift. Good. Relax those hip flexors as best as possible. Pilates is all about the journey here. It's a lifestyle, so it's about really tracking your progress and just seeing like, wow, I'm not using my hip flexors like I was 2 days ago. Good, come back through the center, raise those arms up. As you frame the ears, take it over to the right and just take it around the world here. Good. We're in alternate directions, so take it to the left, sweep it around. So the goal is to keep that nice equal balance in your hips and your sits bones here as you continue to alternate from one side to the next. Good. Taking that inhale, find your exhale, shoulders down. If the breath is too hard to focus on, just breathe normally. Just make sure you are breathing because we tend to forget about that. Take a stretch forward there, guys. Yes, good work. Those abs should be feeling nice and warm. Again, setting us to go into our next exercise into our side overs. So the right leg is still connected to the strap. Our left leg is hanging on top of the box. Interlace those hands behind the head. As you flex your foot, you're going to dip your torso over to the left into the well and take the exhale up. Now, if this is too difficult, too intermediate for you, just go ahead and take that left hand onto the headrest and use that for a little bit of assistance. Beautiful. So your lower portion of your body should not be moving. So if you find yourself moving, you are actually cheating this exercise. So really think about using those obliques to lift you up here. Awesome. About 10 repetitions. And then go ahead and take that nice final stretch. You guys deserve it. Drop your head, relax those shoulders, keep that foot flexed for a deeper side stretch here through those obliques and into the ribs. And then we're going to sit ourselves up and we're going to take ourselves over to the other side. So the left foot transitions into that safety strap, right leg just relaxes and rests on top of the box. Again, it's a different side, so things might change a little bit. But if you are going to interlace those hands behind the head, think of pushing your head back into your hands. If you're going to have your hand on the headrest, go ahead and do the same here. Again, as we're going through these repetitions, you're dipping over, you're using the exhalation to lift up. Trying not to judge yourself, but noticing how this side might feel different, easier, harder. Asking yourself those types of questions helps us to actually get more respect and inventory of our body here. Perfect. Keep pushing that head back. You should be looking forward, not looking down. Excellent. And then let's take that nice final stretch as you open to a T. Keep flexing your foot that's in the strap, just trusting that you are dipping down, getting a nice deep stretch here. And then we're going to come back up. Perfect. And then we're going to carefully remove that box and we're going to get into some hip work here. In this hip work, we're going to kind of spice it up. So we're going to do some single leg work, which is going to focus on balancing, focusing on symmetry. So we're going to take it down to one medium spring or one red spring if you're on a balanced body. And if you aren't already in the loops, go ahead and switch out your handles. Loops are going to go on. I like the headrest up, so about halfway. Adjust to what your head position is like, and then go ahead and grab a hold of that left loop, place it into your foot carefully. Find that leg straight up, and then we're going to take the right leg to tabletop. Take an inhale to prepare, exhale, reach down. So again, our goal here is to find this equal balance in our left and right side. So as you're pressing down, notice where those challenges are. Maybe your range of motion is a little smaller than it normally is when you have both feet in the straps, and that's okay. Good. Exhale. It's so nice to find these ways where we are being able to get challenged. Point out through those toes. Exhaling. Good. If you feel like there's more weight on one side, how are you going to adjust? How are you going to feel the equal weight distribution? Go ahead and let's change it up. Left leg bends into the chest. Exhale, we press out. So as you keep that left foot flexed, imagine you're pushing this heavy box away from you. And the reason I say that is because we're going to think about activating through the back of the glute, that left butt cheek into the hamstring. So you're working the entire back side of the body, which therefore is going to strengthen our hips here. Beautiful. Abs are drawn in like you're scooping or putting a pair of tight jeans on. Let's combine this. So you're going to push out, raise that leg up to 90, exhale, dig it a little deeper. Notice how that changes the way things feel. Pilates is about control, so you should have complete control over the strap. The strap should not be controlling you. Reverse that when you're ready. So just about 5 each way. Perfect. Exhale, drag it down. Leg goes up, exhale to drag down. Good. Relaxing through the neck and the shoulders, just taking that inventory of your body as we do a double check. Perfect. And then set that right foot onto that bar, get a nice little stretch into that hamstring, and then carefully remove that. And let's repeat on the other side. So right loop goes into that right arch of the foot, Once it's stretched up to the ceiling, find the left leg in tabletop and notice again the differences here in how your body feels. As you inhale here, exhale to press yourself down and find this nice, slow, controlled movement as we go through about these 10 repetitions. Shoulders should be down and away from those ears as those arms are pressing long against the mat. Palms are open, or you can always take your hands and place them on top of your belly if that feels a little bit more comfortable to you. Your elbows will be wide. Exhale, press down. Beautiful job here, guys. Nice and slow, nice and easy. And then flex the foot as you bend that knee in towards the chest. Again, visualizing that heavy box. We're creating the work in our own body. And this is where that internal awareness comes from. So Pilates is just not about fitness. It's about really like understanding our body and how each of these exercises are benefiting us in our daily lifestyle. Beautiful. Inhale to bend. Exhale, reach. Open up the back of that knee. Let's go ahead and combine these. So you're going to bend the knee into the chest. Exhale, press out. Straight leg up towards the ceiling. Taking your time once again. Because of these coordinated movements, this also will have an impact to our hips, and you may feel more challenged that things are moving around or shifting. Good, about 5 there, and then go ahead and reverse it. Exhale, draw that line down. Perfect. Again, just taking this moment, feeling those abdominal muscles working from a previous short box series when we were doing our ab work, and really using that to your advantage here to stabilize through the hips. Good, find that bar, and then taking that final hamstring stretch, and then taking the loop off, hanging that up. Great. So we're already on that one medium spring. So we don't really have to play around with anything. We're gonna go into semicircle, which is a spinal articulation exercise here. So I'm gonna have you guys, this hardest part is just getting into the exercise. So grab a hold of those shoulder blocks, push yourself down so that your tailbone is resting into the well, arms are straight. Go ahead and bridge yourself up, push yourself out to straight legs. Slowly roll your spine back down into the well so that you're breezing your tailbone across the springs. Exhale, we bridge it back up, scooping that belly. Good, so the abdominals are facilitating this movement and actually helping through the spine to create this flexibility. Draw those ribs in. Are they popping out? Good. Go ahead and reverse it. So we're gonna lower it down, tap the spring, breeze across it. Hips are high, glutes are squeezing. You got it, guys. Keeping those knees tracking nicely with your hips here. And lift. Good. Again, we're lowering it back down again. Just feel that nice stretch. And if this doesn't feel good for you, or if this is just too challenging, you're not understanding the concept, you could just do regular bridging or pelvic curls on your own. Now just slide yourself up to get out of this exercise. And we're gonna go ahead and carefully roll off to the side. Perfect. So I'm not gonna adjust anything yet with my springs, but I am gonna just keep it as is. Support your feet against the shoulder blocks, hands on top of that foot bar, and then take your left foot to the ledge to find this nice kneeling hip flexor stretch. If it feels better for you, you can raise your arms up to frame your ears. You can always use a knee pad underneath your right knee for that support, but see if you can challenge yourself to open out to a T. Rotate to the right. How does that change things? Stretch it out, find that hamstring stretch. Square out your pelvis, so think of your left hip going back, right hip forward. Shoulders down. And then carefully return back in. Good. Now if that feels okay and you want a little deeper stretch, I challenge you to bring that foot up to the foot bar. Same idea, raise those arms up towards the ceiling. Think of your tailbone tucking under like a scared cat. And then go ahead and find that final split, So left hip goes back, right hip forward. Deep, deep hamstring stretch here. And sometimes, like even my knees are sensitive. Sometimes a knee pad for this one is actually a little bit more attainable here. Good. And then let's switch sides when you're ready. So right foot finds the ledge. Take a breath here. Push those hips forward. Raise those arms up. Again, arms are optional. You don't have to add the arms, but if you'd like to, you can add this coordinated series where we open out to a T and rotate to the left. Challenges your balance. Find your hands back to the foot bar, supported, getting that nice hamstring stretch through the back of the right leg. So now right hip goes back, left hip goes forward. And it really does make a difference. A lot of times a lot of clients want to stretch out into their fullest splits, but they actually, less range of motion, you probably feel that stretch a little bit more. Find that foot back to the foot bar here. Again, if you feel good about this side, raise those arms up. Again, I love any types of exercises where we're able to track progression. So you can take the same exercise and just literally find ways where you're improving in your strength, your balance, coordination, flexibility. And then go ahead and carefully come on off. So we're gonna exit to the right side and we're gonna go into a full body work, which is, this exercise is called scooter. Let's take the hands to the foot bar. Left foot is supported by that shoulder block, and then the right foot is actually, both knees are lined up with each other here. So it's like you're sitting back in a chair. Lean yourself back, push out with your left leg, and keep leaning back. Your right leg should be bent. You should feel the work in that right butt cheek here. If you're not, sit your weight back a little bit more and almost like you're putting the weight into your heel. Draw those abs in. Good. Excellent. Find a little pulse up and down as you keep the carriage quiet, pulsing through the right side here. And then let's bring that back in again. Awesome. So we are going to get to the other side. Hands back on that foot bar. Right foot is supported by the shoulder block. Left knee is in line with your right knee. Sit yourself back, scoop your tailbone underneath to find that C curve. Light with your hands here. Take a breath. You're gonna exhale out, inhale it in. Exhale out, inhale it in. Yes, emphasize the breath here. That actually demonstrates the work. Sit back a little bit further. Bend your left knee a little bit deeper. You got this. If you don't feel the burn on that left side, something is definitely not lining up the right way here in the exercise. Finish it with those pulses. Press through that left heel. Good, nice and soft, a little bounce there. You got it. And then carefully return and come right back in. Good. So with that being said, we're on a streak here. We're gonna leave the springs as is, but of course, since we're gonna get into arm work here, adjust accordingly to you if this feels too heavy. So you're sitting looking at the risers, grab a hold of those loops. Let's go into a nice chest expansion. So those arms are just gonna go ahead and slide right past your hips. Your chest is lifted. If you have to have a soft bend to your knee, I'm totally fine with that. The goal here is to have you sit upright. We are working through the postural muscles. So you should feel your back working, even though that is not obviously what we're doing here. But you are gonna feel those triceps. So back and triceps is our main purpose, our main muscle focus. Soften the elbows for a bicep curl. And keep your elbows slightly in line with your shoulders, maybe just a little bit below the shoulders. And then again, finding that range of motion. So if this is too easy, you can always scoot yourself back a little bit before hitting the very edge of the carriage. You can always go into a C curve as well instead of changing out spring. So those are just other variations. Perfect. And again, about 10 repetitions here. Let's go ahead and cross the straps, and then you're gonna go ahead and hang on to them. We're gonna open out to a T. So I just increased the resistance by crisscrossing the straps. Again, you don't have to do that. but your range of motion might be a little bit smaller. So think about relaxing through your shoulder blades, not pinching or squeezing, but really working through those lats to facilitate this movement. Exhale. Nice and tall through the neck. Soft facial muscles, soft jaw. Perfect. Come in. Elbows are going to be right next to the ribs here, like you're holding onto a $100 bill on each side of your arms, and you're going to open out like you're externally rotating as if you were opening up a book here. Keep hugging those elbows into your ribs. Keep that chest nice and wide open. Sit up a little taller as you puff your chest up. Draw those abs in a little bit deeper. Perfect. Nice and easy, about 10 repetitions. Again, this is a upper thoracic exercise, so you should feel your mid-back here working. And then carefully you can hang up the loops, and we're gonna go ahead and turn ourselves around. So legs are straight here. This is a little bit more challenging on the hip flexors, so if you prefer to crisscross your legs, by all means, go ahead and do that. Palms are looking up. We're gonna start with the elbows bent, straighten those arms, and then soften them back down next to our body. Good. Reach and deliver the tray here. So we're delivering the brownies, we're delivering the margaritas, whatever your choice of pleasure is at this point. Good. And soft bend. We're working the front of the shoulders here, that anterior deltoid. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and open out to a T for our hug a tree. So it's a soft bend at the elbow. The fingertips slightly are just touching here as we pull in together. Again, we're super stable through the spine here. Not leaning back too far, not leaning forward. But think of a string pulling you upward. Beautiful. Exhale, bring those arms together. Inhale, we open. Good. And then we're gonna take those hands, interlace the hands here. Exhale, straighten the arms for our skull crusher. So the elbow is next to, each of your elbows are next to your head. You can slightly hinge from your hips forward, but keep the elbows in space to actually get maximum benefit of the tricep work here. And then just careful with those shoulders, so they tend to want to creep up as we are in this, as we put our arms in this position. Good. Again, modify to your ability. Maybe there's only 5 of those today, and then tomorrow there's 6. So just again, listen to your body. Go ahead and hang that up. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and take it into our jump board series. So if you have that jump board handy, go ahead and grab a hold of that. And this is our additional leg work that we're going to do. Tighten that up to the best of your ability. And if you don't have a jump board, you still could do the work here using your actual foot bar. So just because you don't have a jump board doesn't mean you have to completely eliminate the exercise, unless that's, of course, what you feel. But you can just keep a blue or red spring, meaning a light or a medium spring, to actually do this work. So I added a red and a blue, which is a medium and a light. So it's gonna feel a little heavier, mainly because I just want to get right into the legs here. We're gonna build some stamina as well. So exhale, we're jumping out for about 10 here, just parallel, nice, and just a good foundational exercise here on our back. So when you're jumping, things to remember, you want to aim a little higher, especially if you're new to jumping, because it's so easy to get into your low back. Let's go heels together, toes apart. Exhale, jump and squeeze those inner thighs. So challenge yourself to keep your heels together. But once again, it's so easy to actually really want to drop those legs down lower, and you want them to be a little bit higher. Good. So abs are drawn in, really pay attention. And sometimes I like to keep my hands on top of my belly here too. Let's go wider with the stance. So as you jump out, just take that straddle, kick it out. Good, you're reaching in opposite directions of the room, but maintaining a nice, quiet pelvis. And again, if you go out too far, does that change things? So maybe go a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and take it into this third and fifth position. So your left foot is actually going to be, your left heel is in the center of your right foot. And when you jump, you're just switching this like coordinated variation here. So it's almost like a T. So one foot is in a slanted angle and the other one is addressing that T portion. And then let's go ahead and come back to the center here. Let's find one leg up, left leg up towards the ceiling, single leg and switch. Good. So we're just taking that nice alternative switch so that we don't have so much pressure on one side of our body. Good. Exhale, switch, find your breath, return. And with that heavier weight, we all will be feeling a little bit more of that stamina. So this one, we're gonna have both feet together. They're gonna start on the left side, and when you jump out, we're gonna take it all the way to the right side, like you're making a rainbow here. But then really focus on these ski jumps where you are, it's coming from the hips. It's not coming from the feet or the ankles, but this is coming from the hips and your legs are glued as a unit together. It's great oblique work too. Awesome. Take a moment, breathe, regroup, and then when you're ready, we are coming back up again. And at this point, we're just gonna drop it down to one red spring, one medium spring. You can keep that board where it's at and just take a nice mermaid stretch. So we zigzag those legs. You can either have the legs crisscross or they can also be out in front of you. But take a counter stretch in between each of these mermaid stretches and allow this to be a moment where you're just cooling your body down as we came off of that Jumpboard series. Take a rotation if that feels comfortable in your spine today and your back. But make sure the shoulders are completely balanced and square to the floor. And then carefully return and come back up. Beautiful. Let's take it to the other side. So we're going to zigzag those legs. We're going to take the left hand to the board. Exhale, reach it up and over. It's like you're shining your ribs to the ceiling here as we stretch out the obliques. Counter stretch it to the other side. Just so nice here. Shoulders are down and away. Good. And then on this next one, if it feels good for you, again, you can add that rotation. It's completely optional. Shoulders are down. As you push further away, it's like you're pulling your chest towards the floor and then bringing it back up again. Perfect. So exit off there carefully, and then let's go ahead and finish it with one more exercise for today. Our long box is going to come on, and we're going to take it into back extension, into our Swan. So you're going to lie on your stomach, facing the board. It's fine. Again, the board's not in the way here, unless you just want it off already. And you're going to push out to straight arms. Lift your chest up for the inhale. Drop those shoulders down. And really energize through those legs as you bend the elbows. So think of every single time you're lifting that you're getting this nice back stretch, this nice back activation where you can feel the shoulder blades just kind of moving down those back pockets. Good. Neck is in line with the rest of the spine, so careful not to break the neck where you're looking up, where that chin lifts. But this beautiful line here. And then legs are separated because that does help to decompress the spine. So if you already have really tight low back or any back issues, it's better to have your legs separated and not together, whereas together will compress the spine here. And doing as many as you'd like, anywhere from 3 to 8 is such a great starting point. All right, guys, let's finish it with a couple roll downs. So let's lift those arms up. Let's dive it down. Beautiful. Just taking a moment to just check in with your body, how it feels now. Shoulders back one more time. Raise those arms up. I'm so glad you guys were here with me today. Thank you again for watching. If you like this, hit a thumbs up. If you're new, would love to have you subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you next time.